Oh, is your everyday black excellence? Is your everyday? You are the send it east. You are.
It is with this grounding that the Albina Vision Trust seeks to rebuild this beloved neighborhood in a way that can serve as a beacon for rebuilding wealth, reclaiming home, and ultimately stopping the forced displacement of Black people.
Today we're celebrating the groundbreaking of Albina 1, the first major project of Albina Vision. It's 8 years in the making. It's Black people loving each other and reflecting that in the urban form.
We're here today to celebrate the groundbreaking of Albina 1. Our inaugural development here is going to be a 94-unit affordable housing development. It'll be a place where Black children and people who have called this neighborhood home over the course of generations will be able to reconnect with one another and start to rebuild that fabric of community. If you look at the district that existed here in 1948 and the district that exists here today, you'll see it was so much more than housing that was destroyed. We lost businesses, community gardens, parks, our transportation infrastructure, our access to the Willamette waterfront, pharmacists, cobblers, grocery stores, educational institutions. We lost a neighborhood. What we are charged with doing is rebuilding that neighborhood from the ground up in its entirety. Before we owned a building, before we had a single parcel of land under our control, before we had a penny in the bank, we kicked off a 3-year-long community engagement process and land use planning process called the Community Investment Plan. We engaged thousands of people with roots in this area of the city. The youngest person engaged was 4 years old. The oldest person engaged was 94 years old. And we posed them a very simple question. We said, hey, if you had a paintbrush in a 94-acre blank canvas, what would you paint here in the heart of your central city? And really importantly, we don't want y'all to answer that question from a survivalistic framework. We know that so often in our communities, people are pushed into thinking about their future in terms of meeting basic needs, right? What does it look like for me to have a stable roof over my head, to have food on the table, to have electricity that doesn't get cut off because I was a couple of days past due on my utility bill? We ask folks to intentionally come back to the questions that we pose to them from an intentionally aspirational perspective. What would it look like to see the most fully realized version of your future, your children's futures, and their children's futures after them realized right here in the heart of this Central City neighborhood that we were pushed out of? Those answers now comprise the bedrock of what's publicly recognized as the Albina Vision. We are simply the stewards of this community-created vision for what's possible when we reposition community out of the passenger seat and situate them in the driver's seat of dictating their own futures. Most of our executive leadership team here at AVT are lifelong residents of this district. We're people with deep personal, communal, and spiritual ties to this area of the city. Really, the community that we serve are not just generations of elders who came before us, who sacrificed so much so that we could be here today advancing this vision, but the generations that will follow us. For children who have yet to be born, children who will get to move into buildings like Albina 1, our first 94-unit family-oriented affordable housing development right behind me. This building actually just started to open up a couple weeks ago, welcoming in the first families to resituate themselves in this area of the city in over 4 decades. Our work has grown into not just the largest community-led development in Portland or the state of Oregon, but the largest community-led development in the entire United States of America. We could talk to you all day about the work that we do here. Yes, we're building a 10.5-acre neighborhood on the redeveloped Portland Public Schools Administrative Headquarters campus. Yes, we are working to build a highway cover that caps Interstate 5. Yes, we are working to build the largest waterfront park on the east side of the Willamette River in partnership with the City of Portland, Metro, and the Portland Trailblazers. But most importantly, what we are building here in Lower Albina is a completely reimagined model of 21st century urban development and establishing a blueprint and a model that is not only applicable here in Portland, but that's applicable for working class and historically displaced communities across this country and across the globe. With your help, we will continue to realize the promise of a community-created vision for a better tomorrow. We're so grateful for your support. We're so grateful to be nominated as finalists in this process, and we got our fingers and toes crossed for some good news. Thank you so much.
All of you children who have grown up here, have grown up cherished, have grown up with no fear, have grown up warmed by the bright light of community, and created new memories that match the richness and the independence of the Black culture our ancestors created. That richness and that beauty is your doing, and you are that bright light.